That not my name.
Goodbye, everybody. It is Bizarro, and it has been a while since I have been on my own channel. I am coming back. I am restarting the channel. I know I've been promising that for a while, but it is finally happening. And I want to thank all of you who have stuck around subscribing because I was going to go look at my subscriber count and I thought it would be next to 0, and it's actually higher than it was before I left, so I really appreciate that. And I wanted to come back with a bang, and the way we're coming back with a bang is it's the 1 year anniversary of the founding of Bizarro's #1 Alliance. So to celebrate that anniversary, I thought what I would do is have all of the officers on from the Alliance, and we would have a discussion about some different DC related stuff. So let me go ahead and introduce everyone. I'll start with Inferior Warrior. You can say hello.
Hello.
And then we have Jack Dono.
Hello, guys.
These are from our British contingency. And then we have my co-leader, Matty Bo 20.
Hello, everyone.
And then we have Bizarro Flash.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
So thanks for doing this, guys. I really appreciate it. And not only do I appreciate you doing this with me, I appreciate everything you've done for the Alliance, particularly Matt, who basically took over when I wanted to take a break, or at least I thought I was quitting, and then the coronavirus hit. So thanks for that, Matt. I appreciate it. So with that being said, I wanted to start off by talking about raids generally and sort of what your reactions were to this last raid. And we'll get into some more detailed subjects, but let's just start with everybody's general reaction to the raid. Bizarro Flash, why don't you start us off?
Well, I think, raid went pretty well. It seemed like scores got pretty high this time and everything, so we might have to rethink our strategy a little bit. But aside from that, raids are always fun. Changes up the game a little bit.
So Matt, what about you? I know you and I were having a little bit of a sense of dread when it came to raids.
Yeah, I've never been the biggest fan of raids. It's been helpful that I can actually complete all the milestones now that I'm not working for coronavirus. But it's always been just constant for fun. But that said, this was the least glitchy anticipated.
I agree with that.
And the blue flash skin was fantastic. Very happy.
Yeah, I would say that's probably the best skin that they've done so far, overall. What about you, Jack? What was your thoughts on it?
So I kind of like the raids. The 4 days by the end of Sunday was starting to feel like it had been 100 days. But as all, they are what they are. I suppose it's kind of we're all set now and know what they're going to be. Something new would be great, but for the raids themselves, it was fine. It was a decent raid. The scores were insane, but we'll come on to that, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. Inferior Warrior, what did you think of the raids?
So this was the raid I actually had most geared up to 75. Mm-hmm. I'm still not all the way to year 11. But so I was excited about the raid come up with.
And then
couldn't play as.
What was it like? Being this was your first time having most of the bonus tunes leveled up, did that make a difference in how fun it was for you, or the tunes weren't right, or?
Yeah, I didn't have Polita, so I think that one was successful.
You seem to be cutting.
Podcast.
You seem to be cutting in and out a little bit. I don't know if you're having a signal issue. So sorry, could you repeat what you said? Yeah, that's better. You want to repeat what you were saying about Hippolyta?
Yeah, so I did not have Hippolyta level. That that wasn't as helpful as what I had hoped. But the other tunes were geared well. Was able to do a little bit more in the past.
Yeah, I think from what Hate Mail believes that Hippolyta is going to be like one of the new staples of raids, that she's going to be somebody that really helps to boost the team. And I didn't have her either, so I can't really speak to whether that's true or not. So let's just kind of open it up to, discussion. Anybody can just chime in what they want, because one of the issues we were talking about, I talked about it on WROL broadcast, was increasing the number of raid packs from 5 to 10. And my concern was that it's going to take an already long, arduous grind, like Jack was saying, and turn it into an even longer, more arduous grind, as reflected by the scores that we saw in this raid. So, Jack, you want to talk about that a little bit, what your thoughts were?
Yeah, so mostly from sort of the Alliance side, it wasn't long ago where 1 billion points was sort of the benchmark, and I'm looking at it now thinking 1 billion points is probably going to get you in the top 10 of an Alliance, and that's just crazy. So, then it'll be, when does it stop? 2 billion, 3 billion?
Yeah, I know in my conversation with Hate, they were talking about the possibility of 3 billion, and I can't imagine doing that. The grind to 1 billion is already so much.
I know, and I feel like I played like non-stop for 4 days, so and we finished what, 6th or 7th?
6th, yeah.
So to then, you're probably going to be adding on more time to that. So with the extra packs, I can understand they're going to sell them, and I think that's going to be the new normal from here on out. So I suppose teams like us, we're just going to have to strategize, probably come up with a way of getting a lead early and then consoling it into the later rounds, Saturday and Sunday of raids.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the reason I wanted to discuss this. I have no idea if any of the developers listen to my show, but it's also to give feedback to the game to say, do we like this? Do we not like it? And I guess I'm wondering what the rest of you think. Do you like the fact that they increased the number of packs? Does it make it more accessible? Do you not like it?
I will say that I agreed with the other day that these raid packs are one of the best. So in that regard, I'm kind of glad that they've increased the number, but it does seem to kind of double the grind. If they're going to double the grind, they need to also increase either the amount of rewards that are available, the types of.
Yeah, I agree. So basically, what you're saying is, if the top tier is going to be 500 million still, but people are going to keep grinding way past that, then maybe they need some more tiers beyond 500 million?
Yeah, either that or make the tiers below that worth grinding instead of giving us a whole bunch of XP.
Yeah, let's
in essence.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I was mentioning on the WROL broadcast that I have like 10,000 level 4 XP sitting there, and I can't use it because I can't get enough green essence. Is that the case for the rest of you?
Yeah, definitely for me.
48,000 green essence, so yeah.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, green essence and blue rings are the two toughest commodities to stockpile in the game.
For sure. And
the other day I had to grind out green essence so that I could add some blue rings. One of my siege characters.
I'm having the same with.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder about the payoff of the raid, because if you can't use so much of what you're getting because of these gates that are there, then, it makes me feel like it's a little less worth it. So let's see. So in terms of the raid, going back to the raid packs, I guess I'm curious how many of you think they should go back to 5? How many are fine with 10? Bizarro Flash, let's start with you.
Yeah, I personally liked the just the 5. I think that was a good amount. I mean, I think more people are more likely to give them $25. They are a great value for everything. I think when you start getting to 10, I mean, you're gonna start getting people going like me. I only bought 5 again. I just didn't want to throw $50 in, for everything. I mean, yeah, the values there and everything is just, I don't know. I didn't want to spend $50 on Alliance, on all this stuff when beforehand, 5 was plenty. So,
yeah. Inferior Warrior, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. It just meant more grinding, and I knew I started having things come up during the raid, and I ended up a lot.
Now, do you normally buy the packs?
I do. I usually buy the 5.
Okay. What about you, Jack? Do you usually buy them, and what is your thoughts about 10 versus 5?
Yeah, so I bought 5, obviously, this time again, like some of the other guys, and kind of with the same feeling that I didn't really want to spend £50 on the game. But I'm not sure. I kind of think that it's fine if they want to sell it. If people want to buy it, they're going to make their money.
Yeah.
But people eventually will start being able to stockpile the actual energy anyway. I mean, I've got so much Alliance energy that I just cannot burn through it quick enough. So it will get to a point where you'll end up stockpiling so much of it that you can't use it for the raid anyway.
Yeah.
So that's my only problem with it at the moment. I mean, I don't know how many energy 10 would have got you, but I'm sure it would have been a lot, and you'd have been in a struggle to actually spend it all.
I mean, I think one of the nice things is that at least that it rolls over to the next raid. So I guess you could buy all 10 and then just not have to worry about it the next time. But, I'm worried about this, how it creates this race beyond 500 million. Matt, what did you think?
I'm basically buying those packs for the gold and, campaign, and just because it's a better value than anywhere else that you in the shop. But like Jack, I've got 4,000 Alliance boss energy, and that was after I did almost 800 bosses this time around.
Wow. I'm
never going to be able to use that. I think I've got like 2,000 or 3,000 solo in that I'm probably never going to be able to do. So that's not the big problem of selling those. I mean, I can go either way.
What about, I'm curious what you guys think about the President Luthor skin. How many of you bought that, and did you like the way it looked? Bizarre Flash, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I did buy the President Luthor skin. It was just nice to see Luthor in kind of a normal looking, like, evil, like, comic book style.
Yeah.
So that they got me on that and everything. And just to go back to, I am curious too, how long, if they're gonna start selling these packs and everything, you guys think at some point they're gonna reset everybody's energy for each raid?
I would hope not. And I mean, I think that could really anger everyone if they were to do that. I mean, at the very least, they'd need to give people a heads up, but I think they'd see a mini revolution if they did that.
That's my biggest fear, just because it's the ultimate cash grab. I mean, make people think about how much they're going to spend for each raid, and then after the raid's over, different currency for the next raid or something like that.
Right.
Why'd you even have to put that into the universe, though?
Yeah, why put that thought in their head?
You got me talking Lex Luthor, and suddenly the evil started flowing.
Yeah, corporatism. Um, so what about the rest of you? What'd you think of the Luthor skin?
Yeah, so I bought the skin. I like the skin. I'm glad it wasn't just sort of a reclone of what they've been doing, although I've obviously bought all them as well. It's a different take on things. I think it freshens the game up just slightly. I know it's just a aesthetic looking thing, but when you play the game for so long, just a different looking character kind of makes it just a little bit more fun for me.
I agree, and especially as much as I use Luthor, it's nice to see a skin for a tune that I'm using really often. What about you, Inferior Warrior?
Yeah, I got it. I like it a lot.
Was this the first one you had paid for?
I think I did Nightwing as well, which I regretted that I did it
Why'd you regret
because
it?
I just don't use it. So like you said, this was actually that I used, so I'll see.
That makes sense. So speaking of skins, maybe this is a nice way to segue over into what is changing in the game right now. With they're getting ready to sell skins, but we're also seeing the introduction of basically being able to watch ads and play other games, which we'll put a caveat on that in just a second. Play other games to earn gold. And I'm curious, this might be a highly controversial subject, so I'm curious what you guys think with this. Matt, why don't we start with you?
So I was just gonna say I also love the Lex Luthor skin. It was a good thing, and I have bought all of them except Star Sapphire from last week, because I think you and I had this about they're trying to find the right price point for those skins.
Yeah.
I think it is $10, which is what almost all of them have been the whole time, and not $40 they were trying to charge for Star Sapphire.
Yeah, that was insane. And I'm sorry if I skipped you on getting your opinion on
No, it's
it.
fine.
But
No,
yeah, it's a good point because I think they were searching at what's the right price point. I do think this is fair. I think the way they bundled it with the gold was fair. And I think, for me, this is the first one I've bought, and I imagine I'm not the only one. So it goes to show that it's better value.
I play a lot of other games that sell cosmetics in their shop, and you think about the price for that Star Sapphire skin, and let's just call it $40 in in-game. That is 3 times more than they charge for any skin in Fortnite, and it's 3 times more than they charge for any skin in Fallout 76, which has a reputation of being a money grab.
Yeah.
So it's just insane that they thought they could get away with it. And it's even more insane that
I think too, I don't mind to pay for these things at the right price point, but I'm also hoping, like, when I buy these things, and this will fit in with the advertising, some of the things I'll say about the advertising stuff that's in there, is it really depends for me on like what they're gonna do with the money. If the money is going to be reinvested in the game to create new modes and new content, new things like that, then I'm more open to it. But if it's just going to be more of the same, then that changes the way I think about it. So, Inferior Warrior, what was your initial reaction? What are your thoughts on the advertising in the game?
Say that again.
What are your thoughts on the stuff they've put in where you can now watch ads or you can download another game and earn gold? I was curious what your reaction to that is.
Yeah. I like the video choice. It took second. You got compensated for it. As far as the other, where you're playing different, this is the only game I play. Much time on this one, so I won't.
Do you think, so one of the questions that people have been asking is whether this will devalue the game or whether this is a sign of that the game is dying. Any thoughts on that?
I hope not.
What about?
We all
sorry, go ahead.
just as much as that I would like to.
Can you repeat that? The mic cut off for a second.
I said I do enjoy the game, so I hope not. It doesn't.
Yeah, I hope not either. Jack, what was your initial reaction to it?
So I'm okay with the video adverts. They just take no time. It's better rewards than sitting there painfully doing red alerts or something like that. So, I mean, it's 100 free gems. I mean, you can't really complain. It's a bit of essence. In regards to the actual other stuff, I believe we was talking and we have different adverts here in the or in Europe than you do in the States.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about that? Because that was interesting to hear.
Yeah, so I think in America, you can download other games or log into your other game and claim rewards than in DC Legends. And I believe that you cannot do that in Europe. I believe there's a law that stops that happening. So we don't even get that opportunity. As it's just survey after survey if you want to do that.
When you and I were talking yesterday, you were saying that it didn't work when you did a survey. Did you ever get it to work?
Yeah, no. So I went through thought, you know what, I've got some time. I'll try and chuck a few surveys in, but you just end up going around. It's like complete this task, and then you get like 3 gems. And I thought that's not really the idea. So I believe that's just how it is here, and I'll stick to my video gems. Yeah,
some of the ones here are like bordering on absurd, where it's like, get your free diabetes kit and you'll earn gems. I'm like, really? It seems a little over the top.
I just want to give a point of advice for anyone who is doing these surveys. Start a fake email account, because they are going to destroy your inbox for the next rest of your life.
Yeah, that's true. There's a website you can use called 10minutemail.com, and it'll create a fake email address that'll work for 10 minutes, and you keep refreshing it over and over to get an extra 10 minutes. I use that all the time for stuff like that. The other piece of advice I was going to give when it comes to this is, in any given game, you can only use the reward once. So, for instance, I saw Candy Crush on there, and you get a reward for level 12, level 50, level 77, and the higher you go, of course, the more gems you get, but you can only choose one, and once you choose one, the others seem to disappear from what I've seen. So if you're already playing Marvel Strike Force, for example, and you're level 50, don't think that you can do 30, then 40, then 50. You just choose 50, and that's all you should be able to get. Although, Bizarro Flash, you were saying that you're not seeing the one for Marvel Strike Force at all.
Yeah, I play Marvel Strike Force, unfortunately, and I don't seem to have any offers in my store to for hitting any of the levels or anything. And I mean, I am max level and MSF, so clearly I would pick the 50 or the highest level I could find and claim that real quick. But it doesn't seem to have any offers for that for me. Also, I've tried to with some of the other, like, take a quiz or take a survey, and they don't seem to work on my platform either. So I think I'm going to just be watching my free ads for the free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, too, I've played other games where they've had ads and stuff, and eventually they offer, like, pay, buy like a deal for like $10 or something, and then you don't have to watch the ads anymore. They just give you the rewards.
Oh, okay.
The one thing I'll say on the ads is, at least it's optional. It's not just in your face. You log the game on, there's an advert, you have to wait 30 seconds, close it. I mean, you've got a choice. If you want to watch it, you can, and if you don't, you really don't have to. So I think that's a positive, that at least it wasn't just sort of rammed down your throat, where it was like, new advert. At least this way it's a choice for everyone, and we'll see what comes from it.
I agree because I used to play Words with Friends, and the ads were all in your face, and there was no option on Android to be able to buy an ad-free version of it. And so I eventually gave the game up. And so I really hope that will not be the way that DC Legends ends up going, because I don't need any more advertisements in my life.
Having to watch an ad before you could fight an alliance boss.
That'd be terrible. At least it would slow down the grind a little bit. Okay, so anything that I haven't covered with raids or anything else you want to say about the advertising, the new stuff that's in there that I haven't given a chance to?
No, the only thing I wanted to sort of go back on was kind of giving a incentive for the sort of top 10 alliances to try and move up, because as we've discussed, and it's been discussed before, second to 10th is just the same.
Yeah.
So if there could be like an extra, I don't know, finish third, you get X amount, finish fifth, X amount, instead of it just being second and 10 in the bracket. And it's like, once you get there, what's really the point?
Exactly.
Because we didn't feel like we really needed to go any higher, because what were we proving?
Exactly. And I mean, at least if they went with like an Olympic style, like, gold, silver, bronze, at least you have top 3 to shoot for. But I mean, we all know, like, going for first, I mean, unless we're going to open up our wallets really big, we're not going to take down the Owls. And so then we're just left to, like you said, sit comfortably in 6th or 7th with nothing to really prove.
Yeah, I'm a non-essential worker, so I will not paying to take on the Owls any.
Yeah, and I don't, we have no expectation that our members would ever do that.
Of course not.
So we're getting close to we're running at about 27 minutes right now, and I wanted to keep this about 30. So I wanted to use the last 3 minutes, and you can all unmute your mics. We'll just talk freely, because and the way I want to open it up is, and I didn't tell you guys I was going to do this, is I just want to tell you guys how much I've really appreciated getting to know all of you and developing friendships with you, because when I play the game, I do want to win, but I'm not one of these types of people who wants to win at all expense and ruin everybody's good time doing it. And so I want to thank all of you guys for helping me run the Alliance, for Maddie taking over and running it with me, and just being good people and good friends.
Thanks, man.
Oh, thank you. That's awesome.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no problem. So, I hope that as we're moving forward, we'll have more. We'll get to know each other more. We will, continue to have fun playing the game. And if the game goes away, we'll have to find something else to play, because I'm not giving up playing with you guys.
Agreed. But
Of course.
there's one thing I really enjoy playing this game, and I'm also not one of them, where it's awesome that we managed to hit the top 10 every time, but we got to have fun doing what we're doing, and I think that's the main thing for me is we're having fun doing what we're doing. We're hitting, our minimum goals and everything, and, it managed the results show themselves, so.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of hardworking people. Special shout out to Frank the Tank 2020, who went above and beyond this past raid to help us get to where we were at. Anything else, guys?
I think I'm good.
This is one of those speak now or forever hold the peace. All right, well, thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I won't see you next time.